Just tell me when live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the legendary circuit of Spa-Francorchamps here in Belgium for a thrilling 2 hours endurance race. Today we have a really nice grid consisting of only 9 people, unfortunately, here in BeamGP. Well, this circuit is really legendary. As you know, it stretches over 7 kilometers through the forest, and it's famous for the high-speed corners, elevation changes, and legendary, absolutely legendary moments in autosport racing. So, we've got ourselves here Nath, our commentator, and he will be helping me here through this 2 hours of Spa.
You say legendary.
And
I'd beg to differ.
yeah. And so, here now we're live for qualifying. We have 9 minutes and 7 drivers on the grid right now. So, I mean, obviously, endurance races are a big deal here because you get more points for finishing in better places. Who do you think has the biggest advantage? Advantage here.
Well, I haven't really been keeping up with the series as much as I'd like to. Of course, everyone making their own different cars, so each team has a different car here, unlike in F4. But last week out, Kimi had a pretty good weekend, didn't he? So I think Shadowrock Racing has a pretty decent chance on certainly this long back straight and the Kemmel straight to get a long gap.
Yeah, Shadowrock Racing is known for being really fast, especially on the straights, so this is going to be a walk in the park for them. With Jamie leading the championship here, I reckon Jamie is going to win this one. Takes no genius to say that. But unless something goes wrong, it should be pretty smooth sailing here. Which usually something goes wrong in endurance races. As for the rest of the back here, we have Kanori, which hasn't got a really nice season today, and hopefully it will set up a good times here. In the practice session, we saw that GSAT from a new team of this season is setting a really good lap here, preferably 2 minutes and 11 seconds, which can be a really good one. So then pair that with GSAT, a really experienced and skilled driver who has shown he's got potential, but sadly no luck in the previous races. He has a really nice shot here. What do you think, Nath?
Yeah, had a little bit of misfortune last weekend out in Hockenheim, but I think he's got a solid car. It definitely looks aggressive for this track. It looks like it will do quite well. The balance currently, as we're looking for at the car currently, the balance looks all right. A little bit of slip out on the piff path there.
Yeah. As for the rest of the pack, Train Raider is suddenly in the Shadow Racing team. We have seen a switch in the last race where the daughter team of Shadow Racing Treno is now Shadow Racing, and we've got ourselves a new team, Shadrack. So Train is in the Shadow Racing car, and he's looking really strong, and looked really strong in the previous race. Sadly, he didn't got a lot of luck there, but hopefully this time he will show us really good performance here. As drivers are setting up first laps, Train with a really nice 2 minutes and 12 seconds. GSAT overtakes him by over a half a second. It just goes to show how GSAT is trying his best to just go for the gap that go for a really, really nice position here at the start of 2 hours of Spa.
We got Jamie just currently pushing his car out through Blanchimont. Flat out. Locking up the brakes quite spectacular. You can hear the tyres squealing as we enter the bus stop chicane. Spinning out, and we've got 5 minutes as Jamie crosses the line for another lap. Imagine we had Jimmy Broadbent. That would be legendary. Getting a legend of the sim racing here would be quite fun, I think.
Yeah, and just to kind of give our viewers perspective here, in endurance races, drivers get more points for finishing in the same places. So, for example, in a normal race, we're going to have P1 grant 16 points, and in endurance is going to be 25 points. So a really good increase, and again, drivers really need to not push really hard in the first couple of laps, and then try to work their way up to the top here. Those points are really critical for them, and it can really shift the perspective and the viewpoint on the drivers here. And as for the standings of GTWC, looks like we don't have anything available. Okay.
You guys would have seen Train Raider just pulling back behind Gassad in the bus stop. He now has a lovely slipstream as we go through Eau Rouge and Radion. That slipstream is going to do him only good things as he comes through the Kemmel straight now. Massive long straight, and you can see the time between Gassad and Train. It's only going to get shorter into Lecom. Malmedy as we enter the Brussels section. It's a tricky right-hander, this one, slightly off camber, so you've got to really be careful because the car really wants to just lose grip and fly off the track as we go through Speaker's Corner. It used to be called No Names, No Name. Now it has like 5 names, one of them being No Name, as we go through Pouon. Riding on board.
Yeah, and just now.
Yeah, go
on. Just now, I got some insights on the standings. Shadow Racing is leading the pack with 142 points, and behind is BW Corsa with only 88 points. So we can see a huge gap there. And Shadrack, for one race only, is now up in top 5 standings. It's going to be a really tricky one because Shadrack Racing is now a one Wolfpack team with only Jammy Racing, who is currently 1 second off the pace of GSAT. Amazing work there from GSAT, as again, Jammy leads the Drivers' Championship with 114 points. Behind him is Kare, who is not going to be present here today, with 89 points. And this gives a really nice opportunity for Train in P4 to catch up to Tuomi and Kare, who is in P2 and P3. So yeah, a lot of drivers are trying to get to the top of the leaderboard here today, and GSAT is one of them. Looking at the past, for the past endurance race, we can see that Jammy is really nice and consistent with his pace. He's got only one endurance race behind him in this season, the one and only, and he's got a second place just behind Karen. Also in that race, we saw a really nice race from Train previously in the Treno. So yeah, a lot of reputation here today at stake for Train and Jammy, as they are really far away from GSAT on this timetable now. GSAT, after finishing the quali with a time of 2 minutes and 11 seconds, is going to start from pole, looks like.
Yeah, as the drivers now come around to finish their final laps, Jasad still over half a second faster than Jammy, which I don't know where the speed in Jammy's car has gone, but Jasad's pulled something out of the bag, hasn't he?
Yeah, BW Corsa is a known car for being really nice to control around the really high-speed corners, so he certainly has an advantage here. Jamie might not have brought any upgrades for this session. We don't have the insider information currently, but we're working on it. But yeah, one thing I can say for sure, Jamie is not the fastest here in the qualifying of Spa. He is making some mistakes here and there, and the car just seems a little bit out of control. But again, you gotta remember that this is a 2-hour race, so drivers need to be extremely careful here.
Anything can happen in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. We saw that on the previous season, as we had our first endurance race debut there in Belgium with a time change. It was chaos. It was chaos. A lot of drivers didn't know what to do, and it was really not the best race, but certainly an interesting experience. And Jamie crosses the line. He does not improve. He is still 0.6 seconds behind GSAD, who's going to start on pole.
So as it stands, GSAD, Jammy, Train Raider, Black Demon, 10 Type, his teammate in Frack, and then iCrafter right at the back.
Yeah, looks like Knorr is really struggling here. Centuple is a fast driver to a certain extent. He is placed 9th in the constructors championship, on the drivers championship. Sorry, with 3 races skipped. So yeah, really unfortunate that Knorr is not the best performing car here today.
Well, we have a few minutes break while the race control sort out the grid positions. We did get Jonas spawning his car in. We'll just get a nice little look at his black and gold livery here. Pretty Lotus-esque, don't you think?
Yeah, looks really nice with some, of course, errors from automation, but overall, I really like the design of the car. It looks really, really sleek. But yeah, looks like we're gonna have round 2 of qualifying here. Did not expect that, as Jonas spawns his car. Maybe he's a little bit late for the qualifying, who knows.
If he does start from the pits, that isn't a death sentence for his race. We'll have to see what he can pull out of the bag. If he's done any practice, if not, we'll have to see what he can do.
Yeah, looks like Black Demon also spawned his car. Yeah, there might be a... No, never mind. Never mind. I think he set up the lap there. But yeah, I mean, looking from the qualifying, what do you think of today's pack, Neff?
It's pretty spread out. Looking at the times, if there were a couple more drivers, then I think it could be a little bit closer. But we're certainly going to be hoping for a couple of slipstreams down the straights. And the drivers will be hoping for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, as seen from the time, some of the drivers are really a lot faster than others. Like Train, GSAT, and Jammy here are really close to each other, whilst, for example, iCrafter and Tucanoris are almost 3 seconds slower. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a hazard there for some. But yeah, we just need to wait and see how it goes.
It's a symphony of engines currently idling as we continue the wait here for the start of the race.
Actually, I'm not sure about that because, as you can see, there are some cars spawning. Like Tuomio is finally here, and Jonas too. So we might see round 2 of qualifying here. We don't have any insider information here. Looks like it will be actually round 2 of qualifying here, as Tuomio spawns his car.
That'd be interesting.
And
I was trying to look at the VC chat, see if anything was being said, but I can't open it.
yeah, yeah, you might actually be right. Looks like we are gonna have a rolling start now with other drivers set to pits or to the back of the grid. As we see that BSA is setting everyone's grid position. We have a really long race ahead of us, don't we?
Yeah, we've got a what is it, a 2-hour race around Spa? Not the longest race that Spa has seen, but hopefully it's going to be a jam-packed race. Look at how flexible this car
hopefully.
is. The Shadow Racing car seems to be made of like jelly with the way the front and the rear is bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
Well, you noticing that during the qualifying? They go over the bumps and you on the onboard you can just see the front boinging around like a spring.
Yeah. Well, we just hope that automation will fix their exports someday. As all of the drivers are finally on the grid. And just look at those cars. Man, they look amazing.
They sound amazing. Hopefully they race amazing as well as we head off for the formation lap.
Yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting race, that's for sure. We're gonna have a lot of crashes, that's also for sure. And I'm pretty sure we are gonna have a lot of controversies, as we did last time.
You know these drivers,
so yeah,
I know these drivers. One thing that they like doing is stirring up the cooking pot and causing controversy.
Exactly, yeah. As seen in the previous race, some of the drivers couldn't really start a formation lap without crashing into anyone, so that's...
GSAD being told to slow down by race control as he goes off track.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a psychological warfare or just pedals malfunctioning there.
GSAD asking for a regrid as his wheel has stopped working. This is interesting.
And looks like GSAT is gonna be slowing down to reconnect his wheel. It's finally fixed, so it's good that all the drivers now are safe and sound for the start of the race. again, a lot of controversies are already starting to appear here. This might be a technical issue, but I'm sure that's not going to be the only technical issue we will see today.
Definitely won't.
Oh, looks like Jammy has dropped some places there. He might have gone a little bit off there. Hopefully nothing major happened as he makes his way to the place that he started in.
So tell us a little bit about this track as we... Oh! Jammy getting all so close as we round the final sector. What are some tricky, difficult parts of this track, Will Crick?
Well, of course, there's the infamous Ride-Along chicane, the really elevated chicane, really high speed one. In automation cars, it's not the best to take. Obviously, there's going to be the bus chicane that all the drivers are in right now, a really heavy braking zone, a lot of overtaking opportunities. And of course, like basically any other high. Yes. But anyways, it's lights out and away we go for this spot of 2 hours. GSAT is gonna be P1 through the first corner. He's taking the inside line as Jammy is on the outside. Really clean one. No one crashed, and it seems like Tentuple has gained a lot of positions. He's in P3. Train has lost one, and now as drivers are heading towards the Eau Rouge. A really clean start from everyone. Frack has lost a lot of positions, and
Going
also
off track
as
a little
Black
bit,
Demon.
Crook there. Jammy looking around the outside as we go through Lacombe. And he's got that position before the apex. Gassad coming back though as we go through Malmedy. He's got it back on the inside, going on the through the outside through the Lacombe sector. And Train Raider looking on the inside of Ten-Type. Ten-Type going very wide through Brussels. Jammy now on the inside of Speaker's Corner. Not quite getting the work done. He's going to have to keep pushing and keep forcing a mistake from Jasad.
Yeah, we also need to remember that this is an endurance race, so drivers need to take it really slowly for the first couple of laps, as Jammy a little bit oversteered there. And GSAD looks to be in the clear for now, as drivers are heading into the campus section really soon.
Oh, massive moment from Tommy and Train Raider there. Two massive slides out of the Piff Paff chicane. Tommy onto the gravel through campus. Tommy once again, he's really pushing his car. He's gonna have to calm down or he's gonna overheat those tires and go off dramatically. One lap into this race and he's putting everything on the line.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy isn't really known for good endurance races, so he needs to take it really slowly there, but looks like he is pushing the car way too fast for the first lap, as GSAD is still in the lead. Jammy and GSAD are not going to be fighting, as Jammy will have the slipstream though.
Oh no! Ten-Type spun around, collision with Black Demon. Ten-Type keeping it going as he goes through the gravel. He's lost several positions and a whole heap of time as the group he was fighting with is now going through Radion. Train Raider still getting very squirrely with his car. He's being attacked now by Black Demon, but he does have the inside as we go into Lacombe, sniping up the front as we very cleanly make it through. He's still fighting his car at every corner. It doesn't look easy to drive Timmy's car, does it?
GSAD and Jammy collide a little bit there. Coming to the Bruxelles, there is a lot of action. GSAD collides around the outside with Jammy. He might have some damage to the front right wheel as he loses the position. Wow. Really intense there.
going
yeah,
wide,
as
so
we
he's
were
definitely
saying,
broken something.
yeah, looks like. I mean, he's not going fast enough there to catch up to Jamie. But Toomey and Train are... Oh, Toomey looks like he understeered almost into the wall there, losing a lot of positions as Frag is passing. He's in the wall. Tuomio has a lot of damage,
Looks
looks
like he's
like.
stalled it. You might have to restart the engine as we get going on board. To the back now, and 3 penalties have been handed out.
Not over yet for GSAT and Jamie, as they are they have just passed the bus chicane. I mean, GSAT is gonna have a really nice slipstream here if he will get a really good exit. Jamie still pulls off a little bit of time there. GSAT really needs to lock in. He might have a lot of damage. But looks like everything is fine. His top speed looks good enough, as a little bit of a squiggle there, but still going really strong.
A little bit of a lock-up from Jamie there, like 3 tyres all throughout that braking point, locking up as the load shifts from the front to the rear, to the left from the right.
It's gonna be a really interesting battle. I think the next lap is one of the laps for GSAT to overtake and make a move on Jamie. So we'll need to keep an eye on that, as Tuomio has entered the pit lane to fix his car after that understeer of a crash. He's gonna be 9th and losing 1 lap.
These drivers love this track, of course. Spa-Francorchamps, one of every racing driver's favourite lists to drive, to view, to be. It's a wonderful place to be, especially when you have a lot of events going on. Fun fact, there's a karting track on the inside here, just through Stevelo. If you look on the right-hand side, then you can actually go karting here. It's a little fun track. Definitely a bit sketchy in the wet, as the gap this lap has closed up by over 0.4 of a second from GSAD to Jamie.
Yeah, looks like this is the lap, boys. This is lap that GSAT can overtake Jamie. This is where the slipstream battles often begins here in Spa, and yeah, looks like there will be a battle really soon, as GSAT has got slipstream on Jamie. A bit of a desync here, but Jamie might have a lot of competition going on here. GSAT, really nice corners. Jamie might be a little bit too slow there. Still holding the position, and coming into the Bruxelles, where the incident happened. Jamie looks really strong on the exit there.
If I were GSAD, I would just hold the position right here, stay slightly behind Jamie. Of course, a lot of fuel gain if you do that. Not work the tyres quite so hard, and not put the fuel down quite so hard. You can extend the tyres, extend the fuel quite a few minutes if you do that, which in an endurance race could mean winning or being a few positions behind.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2 hours at the end of the day, so drivers really need to save some tires and save some fuel. And yeah, that's what Jamie and GSAT are going to be planning. because usually the first who goes into the pits is not going to be the first at the end of the race. And yeah, looks like the field is now beginning to settle, as we don't have much battles. Actually, Jammy has a small mistake there. GSAD now looking forward to overtake Jammy. Going to the outside, inside, outside, and looks like it's going to be around the outside. Jammy brakes, parks on the apex, doesn't let GSAD through. And that's going to be really bad for Jammy, because now GSAD has a lot of slipstream. There might be a catapult here.
No.
GSAD not looking to get 2 in a row here in Eau Rouge. And the gap is 24 meters. So it's really ideal here for GSAD, looking forward for the inside.
Oh no!
A little bit of a contact there. Understeers and cuts some corners, but safely rejoins just behind Jammy. With a little bit of a speed advantage, GSAD will try to go for the switchback, but Jammy just doesn't let it happen, parks on the apex, and continues his way. Amazing defense from Jammy.
A lot of penalties from the start of the race. Oh no, GSAD's gone wide!
This is not good. Spies a circuit where any small mistakes can lead to a massive time loss. Just Train has gained a lot of time there, is 1 second behind GSAD. It's gonna get really tricky there, as Jammy has a comfortable 5-second gap to GSAD now. Wow.
That mistake
again, everything can
cost GSAD massively, hasn't it?
Yeah, 5 seconds is not something that you should joke around with. 5 seconds is a really large amount of time in racing, so looks like no damage for him, and he continues to chase Jammy down.
Fastest lap of the race, GSAD, as more penalties are being handed out to drivers up and down the grid. Currently, drivers waiting to serve a penalty: GSAD, Black Demon, Frack, 10 Type, Jonas, and Tumi. Tumi, of course, having a massive crash, lap 2 or 3. He is now almost 2 minutes behind Jammy. That's almost a whole lap behind the leader, having to serve a penalty. He's got another one since that. Track limits are not playing to everyone's favour today. Very bouncy getting on the power through le double gauche, the double left for you non-French speakers, of which I am. It's called that because it is made of 2 left-hand turns. Fun fact there. Jammy really unsettling his car. If he wants to stay in the lead, he's going to have to make less mistakes like that and focus more on, well, keeping it clean, putting everything together well for his lap. You can see the gap between Jammy and GSAD shrinking and shrinking. 2/10 in that mini sector alone.
Yeah, the gap is melting. The gap is melting really drastically here. GSAD has already gained a lot of time there. Looks like BW Corsa is really that competitive. Looks like it might be the car for this season.
It's a good looking car. Of course, with the chrome, you can really see everything. If you are paying enough attention while driving, which if you're driving, you should be paying attention to the road. But if you looked at it while driving, you'd probably see yourself it's that polished. Oh, got some airtime through through Radeon, did GSAD?
Yeah, this might be something that to consider for GSAT here. Might be that potentially, let's not comment or curse him, but potentially we might see a huge crash there from him.
Oh, you almost got him right there. Oh, massive slide out of Malmedy.
Yeah, I mean, looks like BW Corsa runs a lot of front downforce for this session, or no downforce at all. Might be too small of a downforce here, but again, we just need to wait and see. What it looks like right now is probably not the most ideal setup for GSAT at least, as he's pushing the car, trying to catch up to Jammy. But again, you gotta remember, it's an endurance race. So you need to save a little bit of tires and fuel, as well as not crash, because drivers have only 2 tows to pits for 2 hours.
You can hear the cars throughout the racetrack. You gotta love the hills around here, just really bouncing the audio of the engines, which I love. Just from the furthest corner around here, you can just hear the screams. It is beautiful. You come here on a cold, misty morning. On one of the 24-hour events, and you can just hear them running, revving, screaming, roaring, depending on the engine, as they go through. It's one of the experiences that everyone should experience at least once. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, as the gap is still melting, GSAT is just 2 seconds behind Jammy. Really fast catching there, and GSAT is going to be back in battle really soon. I mean, you gotta admire how GSAT is just relentless with the car, just pushing it here and there, as none of the other drivers are doing that.
Ooh, as you say, he's pushing it. He really is pushing it. You've really got to respect it.
Yeah, and just look at the gap. The gap is melting really fast. But again, remember GSAT, no mistakes. Even the smallest one can cost you a lot of time.
2 seconds exactly between Jammy and GSAD.
Yeah.
They seem to have got into a pretty nice rhythm here, fluctuating around the 1.9 and 2 second mark. As I say that, it shrinks even further as Jammy had a moment coming out of Stavolo. I think he has.
Yeah, look at that. Half a second off now. GSAT is just going for it, going for the gap. I mean, yeah, a good look. The gap has shrunk even more. Wow.
7 tenths in half a second, and Jammy goes really wide. That's so much time lost through there. You 4 tenths in that one corner from going wide. If you don't think that a battle is going to be happening soon, think again. Don't go anywhere, as this gap comes down to under a second.
Yeah, the gap is closing.
Really pushing his car. I'd push to say, oh, Jamie's gone off again. We're going to have an attack. Massive defense from Jamie. 2 tenths. They're drifting it slightly through Brussels. Really tagging his car through this section. He's got to put a lot of effort through his tires, through his engine, just to stay in front. Any hint of weakness and GSAD will just slip that up and take it and get another position.
Yeah, it just feels like Jamie fumbles from the thought of him making mistakes here, and GSAD just catching him. I mean, GSAD has shown a really amazing work on the car there. This is gonna be the place where battles begin. Only half a second with slipstream opportunities from GSAD. GSAD is gonna look to close the gap even further and potentially overtake in the bus stop chicane. But again, there's always Eau Rouge and the Camel Straight, so GSAD gotta be really careful here. On the brakes he goes, brakes in an okay spot. GSAD a little bit of a under brake as the gap stays the same. And I mean, GSAD is looking really strong here.
You've really got to think what GSAD's strategy is currently. Is he pushing all out, or is he saving tire? Is he managing to somehow save fuel as he is managing to claw back the time throughout this race? 3 wheels through a Rouge. He's really pushing his car.
Yeah, he is. And Jamie is not too comfortable as it looks like. A little bit on the grass, really uncomfortable there. Jamie looks to be, as the gap stays the same. Maybe GSAD is playing some mind games here, saving some fuel and tires for Jamie to make some mistakes. Looks like he does. I mean, he's not pushing that much now.
There are 3 ways you can get past your opponent. There's down the inside, there's around the outside, and there's playing mind games to make your opponent crash.
Exactly. And GSAD now, again, still in the gap between 20 and 40 meters. It's the most ideal for the slipstream. GSAD is going to be saving some tires now. If you look at the throttle game there. I mean, it looks like Jamie is just starting to push the car. He's off here and there, touching some grass and gravel. And yeah, the gap has increased actually. Jamie is going to be pushing now. As GSAD is forced to try to push again. iCrafter is coming into the pits the second time. Looks like tire management is not for the Romanian GP drivers. And yeah, the gap stays the same. 1 second is between Jamie and GSAD. Looks like things are starting to settle down now.
Train Raider entering the pit lane and getting a penalty for speeding. He's going to have to serve that next time he enters the pits. Unfortunate news for him.
Yeah, hopefully. Looks like GSAD has a really bad tire condition now. So we will be seeing him coming into the pits with Jamie potentially. Jamie a little bit off there, as well as GSAD. Yeah, by the looks of it, GSAD and Jamie has lost the tire potential there. We might see a little bit of a fake enter to the pits from Jamie. Well, will it work though? The undercut is really powerful here at Spa, so we'll see.
For anyone just entering the live stream, Undercuts are when you enter the pit lane and get a fresh set of tyres before your opponent. Overcut is the opposite. You stay out for a lap or 3 laps sometimes 10 laps, to get better tyres later on. Different tracks are different. Different tracks are better for an overcut, different tracks better for an undercut, and this track really wears the tyres. An undercut is really powerful. Oh,
Jamie stays
very
out.
wide. GSAD missing the final corner. He enters the pit lane now. It'll be interesting to see what Jamie does. Is Jamie going to respond?
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Jamie stays out. Jamie stays out for another lap. He will try to extend this stint a little bit longer. Will it work though? GSAT is going for the undercut. Again, really powerful if he can push immediately. We just have to wait and see. But again, Jamie, really interesting move there. I'm not sure if it will work. Hopefully, again, nothing bad will happen in this last lap before the pit. His tires are really weak, looking really weak here. Is going a little bit wide there. Looking at the throttle graph, he's not really comfortable with the car. But otherwise, he has extended the gap to 30 seconds. And Naf, do you perchance know how much time do drivers spend in the pits?
I don't, but it seems to be around 35 seconds. Train Raider, he's lost some time. He's lost a bit more than 30 seconds. So it really depends. There's a whole multitude of things that change how long you spend in the pit lane. How fast you go, who's speed in the pits, if you miss your pit box, all manner of sorts, if you've got damage. But usually I think it's about 25 seconds, so 30. I think GSAD's put a lot of fuel into his car, which is weird because these cars aren't fuel limited, these cars are more tyre limited. We'll have a look. Is Jamie entering the pits now? Yes, he is.
He will be entering the pits. Looking at the time, GSAD might catch up to Jamie. Jamie has a low amount of fuel, so he will be refueling. It will take, again, another couple of seconds, that valuable seconds that Jamie needs here. Jamie enters the pit box.
GSAD entering the final corner. I think GSAD's got this.
Yeah, looks like it, as Jamie puts a little bit too much fuel. GSAT has passed him and the undercut worked. Jamie is just now exiting the pit lane. And he's almost 6 seconds behind GSAT now. Wow. Oh, sorry, 4 seconds.
That is a lot of time that he has to make up. He doesn't seem to have quite the trust in his car that GSAD does. So this is going to be a challenge for Jamie, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, as we have officially passed the mark of 28 minutes, GSAT is leading and has extended the gap just before the pits for 5.5 seconds now. I mean, the undercut is really powerful here.
Well, we saw the 5-second gap that was made. Yes, it's really a technique that is not to be messed with. Now, how many more pit stops do we think they're going to make? Are they going to stop at the 1 hour mark, or are they going to stop at the 50-minute mark?
From what we saw, it looks like drivers are going to be stopping for the second pit stop at around 1 minute and 5 minutes. 1 hour and 5 minutes on the clock. And we are looking for a 3 to 4 pit stops for this whole race. Again, depending on how drivers will manage their tires and fuel. But fuel is not the biggest concern. The tires are, since this is automation cars and they are really not the best, the most tire efficient cars there are in BeamNG. So. As drivers are settling in here, the gaps are not decreasing or increasing. Everyone started thinking about fuel saving now. And on our radar, doesn't look like two drivers are really close to each other. Everyone is kind of spread apart. Tomia has overtook iCrafter and closing the gap to GSAT slowly but surely. Did he actually went to the pits to change the tires?
He's almost at the pit lane.
Yeah, it looks like he will be needing some tires really soon, maybe in a couple of laps here. Since he did went to the first pit after the crash at lap 5, or correct me if I'm wrong, lap 7. And he will be entering the pit. Yeah.
HD.
And iCrafter is stopped in the pits. He will be out of the race for a couple of minutes.
Let's ride on board with Jonas as we have a look at the rest of his lap.
Yeah, the gap is closing close by a couple of seconds there. As yeah, we might see some fights here going on in a couple of laps, but just before that, I know that there are some viewers here on YouTube at least, so guys, give us predictions. What do you think of the race so far, and who do you think is going to win?
Well, I personally think GSAD has a very strong chance. Anything's possible. We've seen how much he's been pushing his car, willing to go over the line of grip at some points. But I think he definitely, now that he's in a lot of clean air, can hold back, maybe go 90%. I think he's got a really good chance to win. Jammy, I think if he just keeps a nice consistent pace, he also has a chance. Maybe not as high of a chance as a GSAD by any means, but he definitely has a chance to win as well if anything happens to GSAD.
Yeah, as I mean, GSAD is looking really strong. He's extending the gap here. Looks like the BW course is just way faster than Shadrach. But yeah, GSAD is looking really strong for today's race.
The gap now between Jonas and Ten-Type, just 1 second between them. Actually, half a second. About a second actually. This could be a nice little battle at the back of the pack. As Jonas goes very wide through Blanchimont. Sounds like Jonas has a flat tire. Could be desync. He's still pushing really hard, so I think it is desync. But that's something to note. There are tire poppers, and these drivers are going to have to avoid that if they want to keep going. I have experienced these tire poppers firsthand, having crashed out in the very first BeamGP season, the very final race of the first season we ever had. Just coming through the Lacombe section, as we're about to hear, I had a puncture, and it just sprung me into the barrier. There was nothing I could do right here, and yeah, that's how my first BeamGP Spa race went.
Yeah, I do remember my first Spa race. I think it was in BX Cup, and I'm pretty sure I somehow got the first place and then defended for my life. Not a really pleasant experience, but a really nice nonetheless, as GSAD is setting records here, 2 minutes, 10 seconds, and 68. I mean, this guy's just pushing it at this point.
It's impressive how he's able to push these tires as hard and still have more tire than Jammy to set faster laps. It's really impressive. I think he's done some magic with that car.
Yeah, it is impressive, but you know, at the end of the day, she said at some point he really needs to think of his tires and the lead that he's now trying to defend
Jonas now
with pushing.
Oh, sideways going through the bus stop section. He's just a couple tenths behind Ten-Type in front. Coming over the start-finish straight now, entering La Source. And it's a very sharp, almost 360 degree, well, almost 180 degree corner, as he now has slipstream right the way up a Rouge. Let's have a look. Is anything going to happen? He's been going wide the past few corners. Keeps it clean, goes wide. Oh, he's going to have a lot of talking with the stewards if he keeps heading how he is through the Camel Straight now into Lacombe. Let's see what's gonna happen. Keeps it clean there, but he is closing on Ten-Type, and this could be quite interesting. Closing, going wide through Pouon. Ten-Type keeping it clean. Both these drivers here, they both have penalties. Who has more penalties? We don't know, they don't know. They're currently just fighting for a chance of being in front on the road. 1 hour 21 on the board left. And these two drivers, they are pushing it. Into the gravel goes Jonas. Is he going to keep it clean? Into the second gravel trap. And, oh, he just misses the wall by mere millimeters. That is not what Jonas wanted at all. I think he might enter the pits now for a new set of rubber. And that battle ended in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, as well as Brain is now entering his pit stop. Looks like no damage, but really interesting strategy. Might be a long shot undercut there. And exiting the pits just before in front of Ten-Type.
Well, we've had 40 minutes of racing. The field has spread a little bit. I think iCrafter is not going to re-enter this race. Anything's possible though. He is still in the server. But 3 drivers currently with penalties. What's that, like 8 drivers still on the lead lap, just about. And Toomey, who didn't make qualifying, seemingly hasn't had much practice with his car either. He is not having a very fun time this race. He is right at the back of the pack. And he's all by himself, isn't he?
Yeah, really lonely for him. No one is there. Yeah, almost 30 seconds. 30 seconds is the closest car to him, and yeah, that's not ideal.
Just look at the difference in speed from Toomey to GSAD. There is definitely a little bit of angel dust sprinkled in his car. We'll have to check if that's allowed by the rules, but he is flying through these corners. We sure he's made a car, not a plane. This is impressive.
Yeah, GSAD continues to extend the gap. By the looks of it, he's not pushing, but I mean, you gotta admire the engineering of these cars. He is faster than Jammy without pushing too much, and again, he's still extending the gap.
He is really pushing somehow as Jammy gets a track limit penalty. That's going to be, I think, 2 seconds added to his next pit stop. Not what he wants at all, with already losing time on the previous pit stop. GSAD though, he had a penalty last stop and he is perfectly fine this time. What do you expect? Another like 12-15 minutes before the next load of pit stops?
Yeah, probably around 10 to 20 minutes. As the grid looks like... Again, look at the gaps. GSAD and Jammy are within 10 seconds to each other. And P3 Black Demon is 50 seconds behind the leader of GSAD. That's, again, looks like a 2021 season of Formula 1 with Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
This is certainly going to be interesting when the blue flags start flying. Now, Valkyrie, can you explain to the viewers who might not know at home, what does the blue flag mean in GTWC?
Yeah, in all of motorsport racing, blue flag usually means to get out of the way for the slower car, and as of now, Tuomio is 30 seconds 30 seconds from getting lapped from GSAD, and there will be some blue flags handed to him once GSAD will be close enough. But for now, Jonas is entering the pit lane, as GSAD has a little bit of a moment there. Again, we're seeing some people already going into the pits, potentially for a really nice undercut strategy. And looks like Jonas is still continuing to drive. Never mind.
iCrafter has been dormant in his car for quite a while. I think the only reason we might see him come out is for data collection, to just feel what he needs to upgrade his car. Black Demon, 2 tires on the gravel. That is not what you want to keep doing.
And yeah, I mean, with 45 minutes past, it's getting pretty boring here, I'm not gonna lie.
Don't say that. We've
But
got
again,
the anticipation to look forward to. The anticipation between this battle here, Frack and Black Demon. Black Demon, he's a very outspoken person, isn't he? He definitely says what's on his mind, even if it might not be quite quite respectable sometimes. So it definitely would be interesting to see what happens if anything does happen between Frack and Black Demon. The gap between them, about 2 seconds. So we will have to see what happens. It is coming down slowly.
As looks like GSAT is starting to lose a little bit of a time here for to Jammy. GSAT potentially lost a lot of tires there, and he might need to come to the pits really soon. And yeah, the gap between GSAT and Jammy is now 7.5 seconds.
It's funny, on the leaderboard it still says that Jammy is in the Shadow team, which he isn't, because on the rear wing of his car it says not Shadow Racing. We'll have to see if that gets updated by the officials at some point. I can't see GSAD on this. Oh, no, there he is, P11. He's had quite a mixed bag of positions then, hasn't he? This is currently the highest that he has been. Currently in the season he's had a P4, P10, P6, 2 retirements, a P8 and a P4. Those last 2 being last weekend out in Hockenheim. This battle, Black Demon entering the pit lane. Unfortunately, we aren't going to see anything between these 2.
As Frack and Kanori takes the P3 with the pit phase finally starting to get some drivers into the pits. Looks like GSAT is going to come into the pits in the next couple of laps, with Jammy again being undercut by GSAT potentially.
GSAD's still pushing his car quite extremely. Is that a word? I don't know. You guys know what I mean. He's really, really not leaving anything on the table.
Yeah, looks like GSAT is gonna be coming into the pits in the next lap. This lap he stays out. Bold move there. And we finally have some insights on iCrafter. He's back and he has made his chores. He has 10 laps behind the leader.
He's going to pop out just in front of Jammy. He's going to get blue flags and he should move out for the fellow yellow car driver. Different teams, both yellow.
Yeah, this could have ended really badly.
Though, aren't they? He's been in that pit lane for what feels like 40 minutes. He's going to have no temperature at all.
Yeah, he's been there for around 21 minutes, and his tire temperature currently is 28 degrees.
Train Rider, the most recent driver to breach the 1 minute behind GSAD mark. Could we get a Sebastian Vettel incident where he laps everyone apart from the top 3? Stick around and find out, as 10 type is soon to be the next driver to get blue flags.
Yeah, but it looks like Jammy and GSAT currently have a really low tire life. They're scraping the car almost every corner. And GSAT is losing some time to Jammy, around 1 second per lap.
Again, GSAD, he is fighting for his first, not only podium, but first win of the season. So a win today would mean quite a lot. It wouldn't just be a win in GTWC, it would be a win after 2 brutal hours of stretching his pace out as much as he can. He's left nothing on the table for the past hour. Did I just curse?
Yeah, Jammy.
I think I just cursed.
Jammy and GSAD are staying out and continuing for yet another lap on really bad tires. Hopefully nothing bad will happen.
These are 2 veterans of BeamGP. If anyone knows how to control their tires, I bet my bottom dollar that it's these 2 guys.
Well, with GSAT being a really not the driver who I expect to do tire management, he's doing a really good job here. Again, not without losing some time, but you gotta remember he has done an undercut. His tires are 1 lap older than Jammy's, so we might potentially see 2 of those drivers coming into the pits this lap. Because I reckon their tires are really close to popping right now.
Every lap that they do here is 2 minutes of time out of the leaderboard, well, out of the timer, and 2 minutes is a long time for your tires to survive. You really have to know how your tires are going to behave, how much they're going to wear, and how much slip they're going to give you in the next 2 minutes to be confident to go for another lap. Riding on board with Jammy now as we go down the massive long straight leading up to Blanchimont, leading up to the bus stop, leading up to the pit lane. We'll see which of these 2 drivers will pit first. GSAD is in the front. Jammy has the ability to react. Let's see who enters.
GSAT and Jamie are coming into the pits with GSAT. He has a puncture really close there. And GSAT is going to be first to the pits.
Well,
with,
that's really lucky for GSAD. Jamie, remember, he still has that penalty for track limits. So he's going to spend a bit more time in the pit lane. Let's just have a watch as we see the battle for the win play out in the pit lane currently.
Yeah, none of the drivers have missed their pit box, but Jamie really close, too close for comfort for GSAD. Both of those drivers are going to be fighting right now. And it looks like the gap has shrunk down yet again between
that was
first and
massive
second place.
for Jamie. He got out about a second and a half before GSAD did, and that brought his time down from, what was it, 4 seconds to just over 1.
Yeah, really nice time save there from Jamie. And Jamie will be looking to decrease the gap between GSAT and himself. 1 second is not a lot of time to catch up. But again, GSAT is really, really fast around here. He has already proven that. And iCrafter is going to be lapped really soon. We might see some controversy here. Again, gap just increases yet again. GSAT is way faster than Jamie.
A little bit of a lockup from GSAD. Nothing untoward. These automation cars do like to have quite a lot of desync under the braking. As we can see, iCrafter, he's gone off in front. He has brought a lot of gravel on track, almost making contact with Jamie as he re-enters.
Looks like he does have a puncture, so he will be going into the pits. But GSAT keeping a really comfortable lead here with 1.5 seconds.
10-type and Toomey, they were battling, but it looks like 10-type's made a mistake and he's lost about 1.5 seconds to Toomey. This track, so unforgiving for mistakes, you really have to give it a whole lot of respect. The green hell is not what this track is called, but you can think of it as a mini green hell. 10-type very close to losing the back end. It flung out from behind him and he almost went around and around through a piff path. He gets it caught back up though. And is he pushing too hard on his tires? Hopefully he can get his mind back on track and hopefully he can catch up soon.
As we're almost at the half mark of the race. We have still one more lap until that moment. Jamie and GSAT are really close. Only 1 second is apart them. GSAT really needs to start thinking about pushing it. But again, it's only a 1 hour race sprint left. And drivers really need to be careful here.
Jamie catching up to GSAD. He seems to have caught quite a lot on this back straight. GSAD getting a penalty. We'll have to see what that is all about. Yeah, this battle now, very, very close. little bit of a lockup for GSAD. His car seems to be very prone to locking up.
Yeah, and
After you.
looks like BW Corsa has not a lot of downforce, not a lot to make GSAT comfortable. But again, GSAT just out of nowhere takes a huge chunk of time for from Jammy, and still keeping it really comfortable for him.
Through Malmedy we go. You can just see the weight shifting on GSAT's car as he gets it rotated. Lock up very wide, missing the apex for GSAT. Getting a very late apex. And on to Puon we go.
Yeah, and the pit phase has finally ended, and we see that Train has lost one position to Frack now. Did Frack pit actually? I'm not sure if he did.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that then, we are officially under 1 hour in the race. We have had a whole lot of action, haven't we? We've had a lot of contact, a lot of spinning, a lot of going wide, and a little bit of pit stop madness. Currently though, GSAD in the lead, this man here, Jamiquai, in P2, and then almost a whole minute behind that, we get the final podium position of Black Demon. The battle at the back of the pack, that is also heating up. Tumi is making his way through. He's made it past 10 type when he was in the pits. He is now just mere seconds away from Jonas. I say mere seconds, it's more like 1 second behind Jonas. And he is he's got quite a challenge on his hand, does Jonas. Tumi is also another veteran in BeamGP. He's played this game, he's been in this server for, let me look at the clock now, at least two and a half years. He's really really got a knack for this thing, as he has consistently been near the top. Recent results for Tumi are a podium, actually, all the way back in Road Atlanta. Couldn't make last weekend in Germany, but he's making up here for action. Nose to bumper for Jonas, looking around the outside, diving down to the inside. Is he gonna get the dive bomb? He does get the dive bomb. Jonas pretty much just hands it to him on a golden platter. No defense, going very deep on the final corner, and that's allowed Tumi to get past. Whether that was smart or not for Jonas is not for me to say. He could slipstream him down this back straight, but if it was a mistake, he is going to have quite the challenge to get back in front.
As a small update for those who just joined us on YouTube or on Twitch, GSAT started on pole and since then has led, and now sitting at a really comfortable gap to P2 Jammy of 2.5 seconds. It's been only 1 lap of this race, and we've got almost 0 crashes. So drivers are really keeping it clean today.
It's very unusual for them.
Yeah, really unusual. If you look at if you contrast to the last race, We've seen a lot of crashes and a lot of stupid crashes. I mean, looks like they just other drivers from them. They are literally a GT3 drivers now, professional drivers that are lapping every single lap without a mistake. As I said, that Jamie's in the wall. Jamie has hit the wall.
Curse.
Oh no! And Jamie has lost a couple of seconds now to GSAD.
He's going to be at least 10
spec-
behind from that. Yeah, there we go. 8 seconds,
Yeah.
9 seconds. That is not what Jamie would have wanted, especially with
Wow.
tyres as fresh as he has.
As I
Ooh.
said that.
Oh, safety car.
Ooh.
10-type had
For
an
what,
issue.
though?
He towed to the pit lane. And, well, that could give GSAD the option to enter the pit lane and get another fresh set of tyres. So could everyone, but 10-type's got minus pit time. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work for the system, but... Jamie catching up. We'll see what these two leaders do when they get to the pit lane. Currently they both have similar tyre stats, don't they?
Yeah. Again, a really controversial one right here, because I do not see a lot of debris on the track, at least. And, I mean, this is going to allow Jamie to get a really nice exit, as both of them are coming into the pits for a fresh and soft tires.
Well, let's ride on board with Jamie again and see what happens. Is he going to get a mega pit stop like he did last time? GSAD this time has a penalty. We'll have to see if Jamie can get the jump. The Jamie jump. It's away for Jamie. And he's made the jump on GSAD. Way out in front. And, well, magic as he also gets out in front of Black Demon. That is mega frack in front of GSAD. Oh, what's happened to GSAD with that penalty? That is so unfortunate for him. He's still in his pit box. Oh, this is such a long penalty. It's going to feel like an age for him sitting in here.
Oh.
To me, in the pits. GSAD, it's go for him, but he's gonna be so many positions down. This is terrible news for GSAD.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate turn of events there. We don't know what happened there. Maybe GSAT has a really nice strategy, fuel strategy, or he has served the penalty. But looks like Jamie does have some penalties, so he will need to go into the pits and serve them.
On my screen, Jamie's got no penalties.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Okay, interesting. Interesting BGPT moment. But yeah, I mean, we just have to wait and see. Until then, GSAT is P5 under safety car with a unfortunate turn of events.
Not the pit stop that GSAD would have wanted. Absolute horror of a scene for GSAD, waiting in there for 15-20 seconds before the stewards let him go on his way again. Now we do have a couple of drivers who are lapped, so it's going to be interesting to see if we are going to get some wave buys for these drivers. Crafter, he's got 10 laps, so I think he's going to only be able to unlap once. but 10 Type can at least get back onto the lead lap.
Yeah, so as it stands right now, GSAT is going to be P4 after iCrafter is able to unlap himself. And this is, I mean, all of the drivers in Formula are having a really nice time then. Train, Frack, and Black Demon have yet another opportunity to be P1. But again, GSAT might be too fast for them. We saw how GSAT is way faster than Jammy on new, fresh tires.
Excessive weaving there.
Yeah, but looks like Frack has cooked his engine as he types in chat. We might see some problems from the start, and it's gonna be another lap under safety car now, since iCrafter haven't lapped himself. So Nath, what do you think of this safety car? Do you think it was a good choice to do that?
I didn't see the initial incident. Oh, we've got many drivers colliding as we enter the pit lane. iCrafter, Frack, and Black Demon all entering the pit lane. That is not exactly the cleanest entry we've seen, but that does mean GSAT is back on the podium. Yeah, I didn't see the initial incident, so I can't tell you whether it's a good safety car call or not. We're going to have to trust the safety crews, because if we don't, then we're not going to be good friends afterwards. But we can see 10 Type getting unlapped there. He's going to be on his way. It was unfortunate for GSAD to have the safety car called right there, but he should now, because I still see the penalty symbol next to his name, he should now have no penalty and a whole lot of fresh tyres.
Yeah, and only P3. I mean, Train is a weapon in Jammy's hands. Train have a really nice potential here to get promotion if he defends really well from GSAT and wins a little bit of time for Jammy. We are gonna have 48 and a half more minutes. And iCrafter is...
GSAT almost really crashing into iCrafter.
Yeah.
Stewards might have a look at that. Dangerous driving, causing a collision.
And iCrafter just a little bit recklessly trying to overtake everyone and lap himself. Make it, instead of plus 10 laps, plus 9. I mean, yeah, this just opens wide doors to drivers such as Train and Jammy to just pull away from GSAD.
iCrafter still seemingly has his pit limiter on. He's not really pulling away. Oh no, there he is. Final lap of the safety car as we go through Pith Path. That's what the locals call it. I know F1 TV and Sky Sports call it something else. Can't remember what they call it. But the locals, they've got their funny names for these track corners. Who do we think's going to win out the most in this safety car restart? Train Raider or Jammy? Or is Tumi gonna re-enter the scene? And he's made up a whole host of positions in this safety car. This has really helped his chance of winning again. Who's going to win out the most from the safety car restart?
Now, from the start, it looks like Shadrack Racing has really nice formation lap starts. So, statistically speaking, Jamie and Tuomi will have a little bit of an advantage here for this restart. However, GSAT might potentially get a really nice exit after this bus stop chicane and try to make a move on train, as it is a go-go, and as I said, Tuomi is already side by side with GSAT, backing out and letting GSAT go without anything, just a little bit of a scare. And again, all of the drivers are just lined up perfectly for a slipstream. GSAT will be looking to push and really clean towards Rouge. No crashes. And Tuomi has a really nice run there. With train's slipstream, GSAT will need to defend around the inside with really nice braking. Train goes a little bit wide there. GSAT is forced to get stopped there, and Jamie pulls a really nice gap there.
Ooh, GSAT pushing Tumi off track slightly.
Yeah, I mean, GSAT is just sandwiched between yellow cars, and looks like it's not a really nice start for that. Not a start that GSAT wanted. Would have wanted, as I mean, yeah, GSAT, they're still line up pretty nicely here with less than 1 second, but GSAT needs to be really careful because those guys are gonna defend for their life for Jamie to win. Train makes a mistake there, and GSAT has time to catch up. GSAT will not push here, but he will stay on the rear bumper of Train. Will next lap be the lap that GSAT will overtake Train? Now,
He's definitely going to try, but Tumi, he's got a massive slipstream here as we go through Blanchimont. Is he going to go for an attack into bus stop? He's gone wide.
GSAT's gonna look to go around the outside a little bit wide there, cutting the track and making a move to Train Raider.
This is back, surely.
Yeah, this is gonna be under investigation by BSA.
Now Tumi has made a position. They've made contact with GSAT. GSAT spun it around. That's very dirty from Tumi.
Yeah, she just goes to the dive bomb around the inside, and GSAT just doesn't have enough to react there.
And Tumi's GSAT is hill. Contact with Black Demon and Frack.
Oh.
Massive virtual safety car. Another contact. Jonas.
Virtual safety car. And
that is a rear tire gone from Tumi. Let's just have a quick look at Jonas's car. Jonas making contact as well at the end of that collision. Luckily, everyone is all right, but that was massive. Demon in the pits, Tumi in the pits. Let's have a look at Frack. Where has Frack gone? Frack is still driving, but he is very disfigured, and he's lost a wheel. He's gone straight on at, where is this at? Brussels. Oh, that is not what you want to see. That wheel is not desync. As you can see, he's definitely not got the same steering. Oh, he is very injured.
I mean, certainly a huge crash.
I think the big winner there is Train Raider and Jamie.
Yeah, but keep in mind, GSAT has gained a bit of positions here and now has a really nice lineup with Jonas being a really slow car. He can catapult his way towards Train and potentially overtake him. GSAT is gonna be trying to do whatever it takes to get that P1. I think it's pretty much well deserved here. He's got a really nice fast lap and has been a really nice driver all of this race. But yeah, as drivers are catching up to GSAT now, Frack and 10 Type are already on his tail. We are waiting only for Black Demon and Tuomi.
Was 10 Type caught up in that crash as well?
I don't think so. No, I don't think that 10 Type was, because he was at least not hugely intact.
Oh, I think Jonas might have been caught up as well in that, because he's got some rear wheel damage on my screen. I don't know if he is going to enter the pit lane, but I'm pretty sure that Frack will enter the pit lane this lap around. Jammy entering the pit lane. What's GSAD going to do? GSAD's also in the pit lane. Oh, we got a driver. I think that's 10 Type entering the pit lane sideways pretty much. And, well, that splits the order up once more. Black Demon is now in P2 behind Train Raider. Oh, you could not write this. That is very interesting. His Frack entering the pit lane to get new everything. Jammy still in front of GSAD. Is GSAD going to serve his penalty? We will have to see.
GSAT overtakes there. Really nice move on Jonas. He has made it past. And GSAT is going to be P4 with fresh set of tires. Just behind Jammy, with Train and Black Demon having a not so ideal tires. And everyone caught up. Looks like we're gonna have a restart on this lap of the race.
That virtual safety car, the way it works is the virtual safety car bunches everyone up, and then we go to safety car procedures, and after the safety car we go green again. I think we're going to have various pit stops, because they can't make it to the end of the race from now. Some drivers might go to the pits in 10 minutes, some might go in 20 minutes, and I think some are going to stretch it out to another 30-minute pit stop to have a 10-minute sprint to the end. What do you think?
Yeah, well, looking at drivers, usually 30 minutes is enough for tires to go from 100 to 0. So we are guessing that all of the drivers are going to pit at least one more time in this race, and then get a 10, 20, or 15 minute sprint ahead of them.
GSAD is behind Jammy. The two titans of the race that we've had are one position away. Now, they will have traffic to contend with in front, restarting on the leader whenever the leader feels like it. Who do you think is going to come out on top? Anyone can come out on top.
Looking at Shadrack Racing, they have a really nice restarts. But Train can be a small hassle there, slowing everyone down, as well as Black Demon. So Jammy might not have the best start. But GSAD though, GSAD might see the window open and go for the gap. So I'm really hopeful that at least there won't be any crashes, and GSAD will be fighting with Jammy in the next couple of laps and until the race ends.
Well, if you thought that there was going to be no action, you thought wrong. get ready for a 35-minute shootout. We go green, and now we wait for Train Raider. It is all on the leader to let us get racing again. No overtaking until the safety car. There's been a collision at the back of the pack with one of the track cars, iCrafter, falling behind once more. Well, I don't know what's happened there, but that is not what you want under safety car conditions. Riding on board with GSAD as they get ready to go here in Brussels, in Spa.
And as I said, Black Demon and Train are going to be a problem for Jammy to overtake. GSAD colliding a little bit with the wall there. But again, look at top three. They're really bunched up together. Jammy is going to have a problem overtaking Train now. Well, not really. He's going to have a really good slipstream. Train is not going to defend from Jammy. And Jammy will have a clean overtake here, as GSAD is still P4.
A little bit of a twitch from Black Demon. GSAD still behind, and there's someone going over. iCrafter has had a moment with some lag, and Ten-Type, he went bouncing over the curves. I think there was someone else in there as well. Frack has also been part of that. Back to the battle out front then. Train Raider.
And GSAD has overtook Black Demon. And now he's looking forward for Train, as the gap is really much a feasible one. It's only 0.8 between Jammy and Train and GSAD, so everything is possible with power of slipstream that we're gonna have. Train has old tires, so he's gonna be really slow here. This will allow GSAD to make catapult and go for Jammy. What do you make of this, Math? What do you think of
it's really exciting. We have a little battle between Tumi and Black Demon for P4. Tumi, as I said before, he knows how these cars drive. He knows how the tires behave. Diving it down the inside, they've made a little bit of contact. Nothing happens, luckily. And they continue racing as GSAD is also fighting Train Raider. They've made contact. Train Raider spun it almost. Oh, that's certainly going to be reported up to the high stewards.
Yeah, that was a really risky move there from GSAD.
Is GSAD going to give that place back? He spun almost out Train Raider. He's got to give that position back, surely.
Well, it is a really interesting move there. I'm not sure if that was a racing incident or GSAD's fault, because at the end of the day, it's racing and GSAD saw the gap, but looks like Train might have braked a little bit earlier there or got spooken by GSAD.
You know what they say though. It's up to the faster car to overtake safely, and crashing into the other driver is not safe, whether it's on purpose or by accident. To me, very sideways out of that corner there. GSAD, Timmy, Jonas, penalties given after that safety car restart. They've got more penalties on their hands. Massive smokescreen from GSAD's car as we come through Piff Path and into campus.
As Jamie makes a small mistake there, going into the gravel. GSAD will be looking to overtake Jamie in the next couple of laps. We saw how good he was here at Spa with this car. So potentially, if he will be as fast as in the start of the race, this gap will melt in about 2 or 3 laps. So
Oh, Tsumi around the
it's gonna be
outside,
really...
getting pushed off through Blanchimont by Black Demon. He makes it on. He makes the overtake done, but was that an overtake off track? Was he pushed off, or did he drive himself off? I'm sure the stewards will have a keen eye on that, and they'll have something to say for sure. GSAD, the battle with GSAD though, I think is quite interesting. He seems to take a couple of laps after the race starts and after the safety car starts to seemingly get his speed back. I wonder if it takes him a while to get his tyres up to temperature. But he does seem to keep his tyres at temperature, so I wonder if he has pretty cold tyres compared to everyone else.
Yeah, this might be a case. He's really careful there through these corners with throttle. Yet catching Jammy, again, only 1 second now between them. This is a flashback to a early stages of this race. This didn't really end well for Jammy then. GSAD has made a clean overtake on Jammy and has made a good pass, as we are officially only 30 minutes left to this race. GSAD, really nice save there. Almost lost his rear, but kept it steady. And again, only 30 minutes. So drivers will be going into the pits in this and only this split. GSAD will be looking to undercut Jammy yet again, as this strategy had shown some signs of working.
Now, if you were one of these drivers, what would you do? Would you pit now and go till the end, where you've got less fuel, less weight? Or would you wait a little bit, wait until 10 minutes when you've run out of tyres, and do the final 10 minutes with fresh tyres?
Now, it really depends on the driver, but if I were, for example, Jammy, I would have probably tried to copy GSAD's strategy, because I know that Jammy's pit stops are a little bit faster than GSAD's, so if I were Jammy, I would have probably looked at GSAD. If I were GSAD, on the other hand, I would have tried to undercut Jammy, as this did work, and pit to try to make those tires last as much as possible and put as little as fuel as needed. So again, it really depends on the driver, as, I mean, look at GSAD. GSAD is already at the tail of Jammy. He is stepping on his shoes now. 0.7 seconds. And will the next lap be the lap which decides who's going to be P1?
I think it could be this lap.
It might be this lap, actually. Both drivers have same tires. GSAD has a little bit faster of a car on this race, but Jammy has a really quick on the corners. As the gap still is the same. I mean, both of those drivers are really fast, and no one wants to give that position.
There's two very different car philosophies here in play. We've got GSAD with a seemingly low downforce setup, and we've got Jammy with a seemingly high downforce setup. Most of this track suits low downforce, but there is this middle sector which Jammy is exploiting to the best of his abilities, where you benefit from having a high downforce setup to have more speed in the corners. Of course, more downforce, more drag, slower top speed. Slow top speed, slower on the straights.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop GSAD from catching up to Jammy really fast. Jammy is gonna be really scared on this lap. GSAD is, first of all, really known to cause a little bit of a controversy here on the first corner, as he goes around the outside trying to go for the switchback. Jammy just, again, parks on the apex, but GSAD is really close. Jammy is trying to block him. GSAD looking to get it, maybe double through Eau Rouge. He's coming into the inside. No, he's braking a little bit. And I mean, again, really nice move here. Can be done. 0.3 seconds. GSAD looking forward to round the outside of the corner. He knows that Jamie's gonna be really slow here. And a little bit of a contact. Looks like it's still safe, but Jamie makes a little bit of a switchback, and GSAD is still P2. Oh, really not what GSAD is planning for, is he?
That was pretty messy. A little bit of contact. We saw GSAD going way on the inside, missing the corner, and almost collecting Jamie as he slid back across the track. What do you make of that? Safe, unsafe, Jamie's instant, GSAD's instant?
I think that was just a racing incident, honestly. Jamie has been really slow there through the apex, and GSAD just didn't really expect that. But nonetheless, both drivers are safe, and GSAD looks like he has a little bit of a damage here, as the gap has increased to 1 second now. But again, this race has shown that this gap of 1 second is really, really easy to lose for Jamie here. And I mean, we just have to wait and see. Next lap might be the lap where GSAD makes the move.
Yeah, this final sector is certainly GSAD's strongest point. He's strong in Sector 1 as well, but Sector 3 is where he makes his money. As we exit the final corner one more time and go back onto lap number 40. GSAD still half a second behind Jamie as we go back to the run up to Rouge.
Yeah, and we can already see some people entering the pit lane, like Train Raider. Going to the pits, this will be his last pit stop. He will try to make those tires last, and doesn't look like Jamie and GSAD are gonna be doing this strategy. GSAD goes for the inside. Oh, and they collide, and Jamie goes into the barrier as GSAD is going a little bit wide there. Toomey is gonna be P2, and now GSAD with a broken car need to defend from Toomey.
Jamie is really in the gravel. Virtual safety car. Jamie towed back to the pit lane. That is a whole lap lost for Jamie. He is P8 now. That is very unfortunate for the ex-race leader, GSAD. As you said, carrying his wounded car all the way back to the pit lane now. Terrible news for Jamiroquai. Bad news for GSAD. Brilliant news for Toomey as he finds himself in the net race lead. Although he does have a penalty to serve, he could very easily just run away with the race lead now as we enter safety car proceedings.
You know, it's really interesting to me that now GSAD won't be... Jamie wouldn't really lose a lot of time now. GSAD will go into the pits. He will need to get a new set of tires. He will need to fix his car. So I forgot English. And he will need to serve one penalty. So again, Jamie might not be in that big of a gap there from GSAD. Who knows? And then again, there's always Toomey, Black Demon, Frack, and Jonas, and Tentype, who hasn't pitted yet. So again, we might see all of them pit, with Train and Jamie being P1 and P2, with soft tires, a nicely new car, and just a little bit of a controversy behind them.
Look at the timing board. Jamiroquai's time to the leader dropping drastically. He could catch up before Toomey. If he gets under 30 seconds to Toomey, he's overtaken him. And Toomey has a penalty. So he's overtaken him. Look at that time, 34. He's now under a pit stop away from Toomey. That is Jamiroquai back somewhere he wants to be, as
as I said,
entering the pit lane.
As I predicted, everyone is gonna enter the pit lane with Train and Jammy being P1 and P2.
Train, oh
because,
my.
Yeah. This was quite
has gone from bad to worse for GSAD.
Yeah.
Well,
again, wow. We only have 21 minutes to go, and GSAD is entering the pit lane. He has fixed his car with new set of tires, and looks like he will serve a penalty. Really fast pit stop from him. He's still in front of... oh, never mind. No, he's not in front of Toomey. He's in front of 10 type and Jonas. So now GSAD, after all of the controversy, he's in P6. Train and Jammy are P1, P2, and this is getting really heated.
Well, yeah, I couldn't have predicted that happening. The race
this wasn't on the bingo card.
Colliding with each other, taking one of them out, and that taken out person doing a whole lap under the safety car and coming out P2. Realistically, with the speed in the final, what's it going to be, like 17 minutes as 10 types get spun around to take the lead again. This is going to be a very interesting safety car restart and sprint to the race. Because don't forget, guys, a normal GTWC race is 20 minutes, is it not?
A normal sprint is 20 minutes, a normal race is 1 hour, and this is an endurance racing. We have been here already 1 hour and 40 minutes, guys. And it's getting really hot here, because GSAD and Jammy has found themselves to their face in the mud of controversy here. With a risky move, GSAD has collided with Jammy there. And looks like there will be an investigation there for sure, with PSA coming up with a statement in potentially a couple of hours here.
Let's have a quick look at that timing tower now.
I mean, wow, this...
Toomey, he has a penalty. GSAD still has another penalty. Jonas, 10-type, and iCrafter also with penalties at the back of the pack. This race is going to go to the wire.
And it's restart on the leader. This might be the last lap of safety car in this whole race. And just to recap, Train, Jammy, and Toomey, both from one let's just say one organization of Jammy here, are all in the podium. GSAD, who's been a MVP of this round, shall I say, is P6, and he needs to catch up a really long way, I guess. I don't know how to say that. This wasn't on my bingo card. I genuinely did not expect this to happen.
It wasn't on my bingo card either. As we go green, and we now wait for Train Raider to go. He's gone very early, no overtaking till the start-finish line, which is almost a whole sector away. Let's have a look how the drivers conduct themselves. Are they going to make another contact, or are they going to keep it clean? A little bit of pushing from Crack and...
10-type and Jonas collided there. 10-type really has been a naughty boy there. Collided with Jonas, and Jonas is in the pits. Crack is over to GSAD after a small desync. But looks like Train, Jammy, and Toomey, all of our eyes are gonna be on them because they're really close, coming into Eau Rouge. Train Raider is leading the pack here. Jammy and Toomey are really close to each other. Shadow Racing might have a overtake on Train. They will have. And There's going to be a really lovely fight coming up here. Braking zone. Train on the inside. Toomey goes a little bit wide as
Toomey goes
Jamie
up.
is P1.
That brings Black Demon into the fight for Toomey as well. Looking up the inside, doesn't quite get the overtake done. Toomey drifting his car out of the corner. He's going to try and catch up to Train Raider Jamiquai though. He's out in front as Jonas is having a terrible pit stop. The system really not working for him today. And well, that's probably his race completely over, as the battle out front is still heating up. Toomey having a look down the inside of his organizational teammate. Nothing really happening to it. God, these cars really do like to come out of these corners sideways when these drivers drive it. And it's a long run up to the start-finish line now. GSAD only a few positions behind the not Shadow Racing drivers.
GSAD is pushing Black Demon here. He cannot wait. 15 minutes on the clock. GSAD needs to make a lot of positions here. Almost 3 seconds. And I mean, this is really possible. Toomey and Train are fighting there, going for the switchback. GSAD losing the rear there and losing the position to Black Demon. Again, it's not over yet. GSAD has 15 minutes. It's plenty of time. Time has already shown that 15 minutes is way too much for Jamie to make a mistake, for GSAD to catch up, and for something to go wrong. GSAD now has a really nice opportunity here. Train and Toomey are spaced apart equally. So now, I mean, it's go time for GSAD. GSAD has a lot of slipstreams up ahead. A really nice flat-out Eau Rouge. Look at the speed difference. GSAD just going to the outside, overtaking Train like he's a standing target.
Weaving down the straight as
braking zone and
through Malmedy. GSAD in front of Train, but behind Toomey. 4 seconds behind Jamie. This could be this will be a very interesting final 15 minutes of the race. If you have any plans, delay them. You are not going to go anywhere. You do not want to miss this. As we
certainly, again, GSAD has proven this race that he's capable of overtaking Jamie, not only when he's really close to him, but when he's really far. That 8-second gap at the start has melted really easy and really fast. And look, only from one sector, the gap is already decreased by half a second.
This has been a great race.
Yeah. This might actually be one of the best endurance races we have ever had in GTWC in BeamGP. If you want to race like those guys, go to the description and check out our Discord where you can sign up for the races. Really amazing server, as now GSAD has a really nice opportunity to overtake Toomey on the next lap.
Looking
going for the switchback again.
Not getting anything done just yet, but he is going to try again.
Yeah, I mean, again, the gap is only 3.5 seconds and 13 minutes to go. 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 13 minutes.
I'm at a loss for word. When I saw that Jamie was at the back of the pack, and I didn't think he would be leading 3 minutes later.
Yeah, that crash did influence the race quite a lot. And again, GSAD just catching up to them. Just Jamie does not need to make any mistakes now. He just needs to get the car going home. 12 minutes. And GSAD, I mean, he has been probably the most valuable driver of today, leading almost every lap. I mean, the fastest driver on the track, never giving up and catching up to Jamie whether it's 1 second or 12 seconds, it doesn't matter. GSAT has been a really great driver to look at today, as looks like the gap to Jamie does not melt that easy though. But Toomey might help GSAT now with a lot of slipstream. Jamie will probably give a advice to Toomey just to defend for his damn life. This is gonna be really interesting. 11 minutes on the clock, and GSAT just really desperate for the P1. He does not want to end up P2 or P3, and it's just both Shadrach Racing and BW Corsa in the podium.
Toomey is really being the Finnish Minister of Defence right here, defending for his life and his teammates' life from GSAD. As we go through the bus stop one more time. Lap 45. And Jamie, Toomey, GSAD. That is your podium positions. Couple seconds behind GSAD is Train Raider GSAD with another penalty. So does Toomey. And, well, that could influence the results at the end. We don't know how big those penalties are. At least I can't see how big they are. Can you see how big they are?
No.
Nah.
But what I can see is the gap melting.
Exactly.
The Ice Age has finally received 4 seconds off. Jamie will be getting a little bit nervous here. Ooh, Jamie.
Down the inside. Contact. GSAD into the gravel. They've made contact.
Oh, no.
He's taken
GSAD
out Toomey. How fast can Toomey get going again? Toomey is... Oh, Toomey's in the pit lane.
What a race ending. This is not what GSAD wanted. And it's virtual safety car. Ooh.
Another virtual safety car.
This might be the chance. But again,
if you're
virtual
Jamie,
safety car.
Do you go into the pit lane? Because we're going to have at least two laps under the safety car. Do you enter the pit lane and get fresh tires?
This is a really tricky question, honestly. We have 9 minutes. We have almost like half a lap. So if we take an average time of 2 minutes and 12 seconds, so we have 1 minute and 6 seconds plus, let's just say 10 seconds because it's safety car. Then if I were to pit, I would lose some position. But then again, GSAD will be pitting too. He has got some damage, what looks like to be. And, you know, it's really difficult to say because, again, 2 laps of safety car, it's gonna be only a couple of minutes of racing, maybe even only 1 lap or 2. So not much you can do there, but really tough decision here from Jamie now. Do you pit? Do you stay out? Do you try to do something? Because the tires will be cold as hell, and they will be old.
Restarting on green. Oh, that is big. Okay, so I think that's locked the answer in. It's gone green. Okay. I think the best option is to not pit, and that's what Jamie's done as well. He's stayed out, and it's away we go for the final 4-ish laps of Spa.
GSAD is just... Looks like GSAD has lost all the hope here. GSAD just letting Frack by. Frack is P3 now. Crazy points for Kanori, but GSAD at least P3. Come on, man. It's not how it's supposed to be ending.
Was GSAD pushing too hard?
I'm not sure actually, because I'm not sure. He went drifting there and kind of catch the car only when it was in the gravel where you don't have a lot of control over it. So he pushed Tommy, thus ending his race in P7 potentially. So, I mean, not something that GSAD would have wanted here. Only 7 seconds on the clock. And 13.5 seconds to catch up. I don't think this is gonna be happening, honestly. Looks like it's Joe over for GSAT now, but don't be too sure about that, because again, everything is possible. Jammy can also crash.
We can split this
Not saying
down
that I want
into.
to.
It could be close. That's all I'm gonna say. It could be very close for GSAT if he pushes like Billy-O. I'm gonna use that sentence that I don't think many people will understand, but if he goes all out from now until the end, really cooks his tires, I think he might have a chance of getting P1. He does have a penalty though, and so do a lot of the other drivers behind him. Jamiroquai and Train Raider don't, but let that not put you off. We could see some madness here.
Exactly, yeah.
Darkness falling on the racetrack as the sun sets here in Spa-Francorchamps. If you want to come visit this track, then feel free. It's a wonderful racetrack to come and race on. Very undulating, very technical, very, very fun. Through the source. And we just wait to see what GSAD can pull out of his pocket. Is Jammy going to push?
The gap is melting. Looks like Jammy just wants to have a smooth sailing, and GSAD really does not want to end up in P3. So he is pushing. Only less than 4 seconds to train. So Train is on the older tires though, so GSAD have a potentiality to finish P2, even P1 if Jammy crashes. But I don't think this will be happening, since Jammy is really safe driver when it comes to just finishing the race in the position where he wants to be.
You can just see the damage on GSAD's car from the impact with Tumi a few laps ago. Has that impacted his suspension? We don't know. The only person who does know is GSAD and the people in his team VC. The gap between GSAD and Train Raider dropping all the time, and it's only a matter of time before GSAD overtakes.
Yeah, and it's also less than 4 seconds, 4 minutes, I'm sorry, to the race end. I'm sure drivers are as exhausted as we are, and they just want to finish the race as quick as possible. But GSAD looks like he has got his second breath here opened, and looks like he's catching up to Train really fast here. The gap is only 3 seconds now. It's really possible.
I think Train is falling back. The gap between GSAD and Jamiroquai is not changing, but Train Raider, he is falling back into the clutches of GSAD's immense grip, and well, we've seen how easily he shrugged off Frack just now. We'll see what he can do this time with Train Raider.
Looks like we're gonna have 2 more laps, this and the last lap, and this is gonna be the final lap of 2 hours of Spa today. And honestly, a really chaotic race. Yeah.
This is BeamGP. We are watching the GTWC race in Spa-Francorchamps. 2 hours have been going on. We've had races, we've had crashes, we've had mishaps, and we are currently watching the battle for P2. GSAD and Train Raider. GSAD has been catching the past few laps from the previous virtual safety car, and we can only watch in pure amazement at what is going to happen between these two drivers. Is Train Raider going to be able to fend him off? Is he going to break confidence? Who will come out on top? Don't go anywhere. We've got half a minute left. Jamie rounding the final corner to start the final lap. And it has been a wonderful previous 2 hours. We've had qualifying. We've had safety cars. We've had yellow flags. And we've had a whole host of pit stop shenanigans. It's been a pleasure to watch this race. It's been a pleasure to commentate alongside you. Thank you for being here, Valley. Actually, I don't know how to...
Yep.
That's a bit embarrassing. I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Oh, was it just VRV? Yeah.
VRV? Alright.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure to commentate alongside you, VRV. And, well, yeah. Hopefully you guys have had a wonderful time watching the stream as well. I know these drivers, how exhausted they're going to be, but once they hook everything up, they definitely love this sport. Back to the GSAD fight then. It's heating up in the final lap. Take it away.
Yeah, looks like GSAD is going to be catching up to Train. Really, I don't have any words. I mean, this race has been really amazing. First of all, yeah, I want to thank all of the viewers and Nat here for commenting. But it's not over yet. Again, GSAD really close to Train Raider. Train Raider just doesn't need to fumble that. And I mean, the gap is really just melting away. It's less than 1 second now. Train a little bit of a lockup there as GSAD is going to go full attack mode in the last sector. GSAD, again, really close to Train. He's gonna have the slipstream, but will he be on top of this fight in the bus stop chicane? As, again, the gap is only 30 meters, GSAD is in the slipstream zone of Train Raider. GSAD will be...
Jamie rounding the final corner to take the win after 2 hours and 53 seconds. Oh, they make contact!
Pushing Train. Oh, and looks like it's P3 for GSAD. Really unfortunate one out of desperation. And GSAD finished P3. What an amazing race that was.
Well, you could not write that script at all. If you thought you could, it would have been rewritten multiple times throughout the race. Wow. GSAD in his brilliantly chrome and orange car. He had, I think, the strongest one-lap pace, but when it came to luck, and as many things in racing do, when it came to having the racing gods on your side, Jamie is your victor today. Do we have anyone who wants to do any interviews? What were you going to say?
Yeah, I think...
What were you going to say?
I think we should start with... I don't know, I mean, GSAD is not anywhere in the VC chat, so... actually, wait. Looks like he will be joining us in the commentary box now, in about a second. Hello, GSAD. I mean, honestly, you might be most valuable driver of today. Amazing race, amazing pace. I have no words. You've brought joy to my eyes today. But a really unfortunate race for you. What do you make of that?
I mean, and I'm gonna get tickled by the stewards because I did have some moments where I was being pushed to the limit. I tried my best to be clean, but with the incident with Tuomi, like he pushes me wide once, he pushes me wide the second time. Like I was in the gravel, you could see what can I do if I'm in the slippery gravel, and I'm trying to not get overtaken by the car behind, so I go full throttle, and then I reach and I'm just sliding, and like we both crash. Then Jamie decides to like weave to the left, to the right on the straight. Well, I'm already in like almost in the grass, and takes us both out, takes himself out, and still wins the race, leaving me with no tire. Like it was a very great race. I think they had a better tire wear than our car, because while I was on like 25%, he was gaining like a second on me per lap, but I was gaining like a second on him on new tires. So that's something we're gonna have to work on the next race.
GSAD, you had immense pace. You were consistently gaining on Jamie through most of the race up until that final virtual safety car. Is this a good sign? Is this a bad sign? Is this just Spa? What do you make of your trust in your car?
I think if Kate was racing, then it would have been a 1-2 by like a minute, because we could have worked together. But I had, like at the final safety cars with like I think an hour to go, or like 30 minutes, you know, you had three cars like pretty much in the same team to drive against them. Like it was pretty insane. Like in the turn one, I'm like clear, and I see someone behind me. They rear end me. Like I tried blocking Tommy, he just hits me, and I was like mad because I thought my race was pretty much cooked. And then yeah, the safety car saved me because I think he crashed with BD on Via Rouge. I would like to see a clip of that anytime soon, if it's possible. So it was I think it was the car this time, because the car felt very great.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly had a lot of. Yeah. So, again, really unfortunate. I'm really sorry for you. I was rooting for you from the start. Amazing pace, really nice fastest lap. We're hoping that the car will improve for the next round, and you will not be so sad about this race.
I wouldn't say I'm sad. It was like my first actually done 2-hour race, because you know in Daytona I was also like virtually fighting for the win in that shitbox that G-Force has, which I was out dragging. Like I was virtually like maybe 5 seconds I would gain, I would lose a bit, and then I just like start losing time. I pitted because I blew my engine during the VSC. Then I ran out of fuel because of some miscalculations during the last lap that I had with my pit lane, and yeah, I had to pit and had like no luck. And this time we had a great race, we had great fights, and it was very fun to finish the race and not DNF. Like it was, I think it's probably gonna be Frack on the podium this time though, because you know all the wrongdoings I might have done in this race. But time will tell, and yeah, good job to Jamie for winning.
Well, wishing you the best of luck in the stewards room later on. GSAD,
Yeah,
your P3 driver.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apologies
So,
about the choice of language chosen by GSAD at the end there.
Right. Hello, Tommy.
Oh, hello.
So again, amazing race from you. You've shown
Best of luck, buddy.
a lot of pace. But yeah, what do you make of all of the controversy?
The controversy of what exactly?
Well, for example, take that GSAT crash on the first corner.
First corner where he moves under brake. Yeah, I think it's unlucky that we have drivers still who like just have to do that. You know, I feel like we already should be at a level where we don't crash into others purposefully. You know, as well, like, you know, if you're off track, you just don't keep full throttle and slam into another opponent's. You know, it's unlucky. Could have been a good result today, but should have been a good result. But wasn't a good result because of certain actions of other drivers.
You
We let the stewards
had
decide what they think. Oh,
you had a pretty roller coaster experience on the leaderboard, going up and down.
yeah,
What do you make
yeah.
of it?
That's what you get when you have basically zero practice. I barely had enough time to just get in there. I didn't have time for quality. I just got in. No practice done on the racetrack. I was throughout the race. I was increasing my pace a little bit. The start was a bit rough. At the start, I was just crashing. after that, I started driving way better on the car. And, you know, certain little mishaps from me and other drivers did cause some, you know, places to drop down.
You were looking pretty solid in the middle half of the race up until that final incident.
Yeah. Yeah, I had pace.
What do you make of it?
Well, I had pace. I definitely had pace to at least challenge Jamie. She said I noticed was a bit faster. I wasn't sure if he was able to just escape. I probably wouldn't have caught him. I wasn't that fast. But if I was just left alone to be with Jamie, I maybe could have challenged him a bit. Not sure if I could have overtaken, but pace was there. Sadly, other factors were not.
Well, I wish you good luck. You've got 2 weeks to relax and recoup. That was to me.
I wish you a Merry
Peter?
Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
Good to go now.
Yeah.
See ya.
Alright, so we have one more interview now with Train Raider.
Hello.
Well, hello Train. Really nice race there, P2. Honestly, I didn't really expect that. But yeah, great race, great pace. What do you make of that?
I just kept it consistent, only had one spin that was caused by myself. And yeah, for the rest, just try and keep focused for the safety cars and all, and make good strategy. And P2 in the end of it.
You managed to hold off GSAD at the end there. What was it like having him hunt you down in the final couple of laps?
Scary, because I thought he was going to hit me.
You had pretty consistent pace throughout that race. How do you make of? How did you make that race? How did it feel?
Well, the car was kind of sketchy, especially in a Rouge. But I mean, it was pretty decent in the race. In practice, it was not really, but I found a groove, and I just kept in that groove most of the time. Pretty much it.
All right.
Yep. All right. I'm sure you're as exhausted as we are, so yeah, we'll let you let you go for the rest.
Get some food in you.
Yeah, I need it.
What food is the podium place Train Raider gonna eat tonight?
It's either gonna be egg or sausage.
Both good choices. All right, that was Train Raider, your P2 driver. Thank you.
Yep. No problem.
Yep. As looks like we don't have anyone else to comment on. Sadly, our chore maker iCrafter is not anywhere in the VC, so we cannot really invite him. But anyways, this was 2 hours of Spa. I hope you enjoyed this, as we are. Thank you for watching. Go check out our Discords. And that was Naf and the RV commenting. See you in 2 hours. Oh my. See you in 2 weeks for the next round of